A lot of talk about afternoon heat, but we're also tracking a rain chance for the weekend. I'll have all the details you need to know coming up.
And at this hour, trade talks between China and the U.S. seem to be heating up. We'll explain.
Chance for the
right now.
A lot of talk about afternoon heat, but we're also tracking a rain chance for the weekend. I'll have all the details you need to know coming up.
And at this hour, trade talks between China and the U.S. seem to be heating up. We'll explain.
Anxious family members are still waiting for deceased hostages to be released by Hamas from Gaza. I'm Trey Yingst in Tel Aviv. I've got the details coming up.
First on the Gulf Coast with breaking news and weather. Fox 10 Midday starts now.
Good morning to you and happy Wednesday. Thank you for choosing Fox 10 Midday. We're so glad you're here. I'm Ashlyn Mitchell.
Meteorologist Nicholas Herboso. What a lovely start to the day.
It's beautiful, but we know it's going to get warmer.
Yes,
right?
We've been talking about the afternoon heat. Yeah. We're going to be close to record numbers today.
Wow.
I think the record temperature in Mobile is kind of low. It's 89 degrees, and which the record for tomorrow is 93.
Wow.
So,
okay.
but still, we could get close to that number today. It is going to be a hot one. In fact, we're warming up quickly right now. 77 degrees in Grove Hill, 82 in Mobile, and 81 in Gulf Shores. So that's your current situation. Clear skies out there. Really lovely picture from our live cameras across the area. You can see that Navigator Credit Union camera looking real nice there. The causeway is looking good. That is a WASP on the Hampton Inn camera. Eastern Toyota Hyundai camera, blue sky, and All-In Credit Union camera, blue sky. So there's that Eastern Toyota Hyundai camera there. 79 degrees, Interstate 10 flowing smoothly. Down at the beach, nice conditions, 81 degrees, an east wind at 10 miles per hour, but it is not churning up the surf that much. We have a low risk of rip currents out there today. Here are your forecast highs, though. They are really quite hot. We're talking about 90 degrees in Calvert, 90 in Leakesville, 88 in Lucedale, 86 Pensacola, 84 in Gulf Shores, and 89 and 90 there for Monroeville and in Evergreen. Here is the almanac. 88 degrees is the forecast, 89 is the record. So we're going to be talking about some warm stuff. Also, the drought monitor showing dry conditions. We could use some rain, and we get some rain. Looks like we could get about a quarter to half inch, mainly on Sunday. It's associated with a front. It's going to roll into the area. Note before the front, we do get some wind pushing in out of the south and east. It'll increase the rip current risk at the beach. Then the front rolls through, and we have that shot at rain. So here's your 5-day forecast, kind of what you need to know in the near term. Extremely hot in the afternoon for this time of year, all the way through about Saturday. Humidity increasing through the next 5 days, with Sunday being the rain chance, showers and thunderstorms. I'll have more details on this and a closer look at that forecast coming up.
And we begin with breaking news. A homicide investigation is happening in Mobile. We're told it happened early this morning on High Street. When officers arrived at the scene, they found a woman identified as 35-year-old Velgenia Brown dead inside a home. Upon further investigation, officers discovered it was an isolated incident between known individuals. They say the other person, a man, remained on the scene and has been cooperating with investigators. Mobile police say they have concluded their investigation and handed it over to the Mobile County District Attorney's Office for review. And right now we have a missing persons alert to tell you about. We want you to stop what you are doing and take a look at this picture. This is Kurt Mantifull. According to the Mobile County Sheriff's Office, Kurt left his workplace in Saraland on Monday and did not report to work the following morning. Investigators say his car was located on Tuesday in a wooded and secluded area off Jones Road in Wilmer. Anyone with any information is urged to contact the Mobile County Sheriff's Office. And now to the latest in some breaking news we are continuing to follow from overseas. Pakistan has agreed to a 48-hour ceasefire with Afghanistan. Now, this comes after days of violence that left dozens dead. The Taliban government's chief spokesman said the truce was at the insistence of Pakistan. The fights, the deadliest between the neighboring countries in years, have involved Pakistan's accusations that Afghanistan is harboring armed groups. Pakistan's army said earlier it killed dozens of Afghan security forces and militants and destroyed military posts. The fighting has caused evacuations in those border areas, and key border crossings remain closed. Of course, we'll continue to follow the latest developments and bring you updates as we receive them. Weary relatives of the deceased hostages finally lay their loved ones to rest as the fragile ceasefire in Gaza appears to be holding, at least for now. New on midday, Fox News correspondent Trey Yangst has more from Tel Aviv.
Funerals are now underway for two of the hostages whose bodies were released Monday by Hamas. Thousands of Israelis gathering to pay their final respects, while other families wait for the remains of their loved ones to be returned. But only 7 have been sent back by Hamas so far, and officials here say at least one of those bodies was not a hostage.
We were told they had 26, 24 of dead hostages, if we can use those terms. And it seems as though they don't have that because we're talking about a much lesser number.
Hamas says it's working hard to return all the bodies, but some experts say this could be a delaying tactic, giving the group time to consolidate its power in Gaza.
They will drag out this stage and they will try to make an inevitable situation where they are de facto rulers on the ground, and that cannot be allowed to happen.
Israel responded by threatening to slash aid deliveries to Gaza, with Prime Minister Netanyahu saying he's taking the return of the remains just as seriously as he did the living hostages.
We are dealing with the return of the deceased. We will spare no effort and no means to return them.
So far, the aid seems to be getting through. A massive convoy crossed the border into Gaza on Wednesday, but the UN says it's still not enough.
The conditions are so dire into Gaza. Access to water, access to food, access to health, and access to a shelter is still a priority.
The UN Development Agency says at least $70 billion will be needed to rebuild Gaza after 2 years of war. In Tel Aviv, Trey Yangst, Fox News.
Also today, the White House says its tariffs are paying off with more $31 billion in revenue reported last month. Still, tensions between the U.S. and China continue to mount as both sides target one another's ships. This week, the U.S. and China began charging new port fees on each other's ships that move everything from toys to crude oil and more. Beijing announced the levies last week alongside efforts to curb exports of its rare earth metals. In response, President Trump has threatened a new 100% additional tariff on China starting November 1st.
It's a clear repudiation of everything we've been working toward for the last 6 months, which was a stable tariff situation.
If the U.S. insists on going its own way, China will certainly take resolute measures to safeguard its legitimate rights and interests.
President Trump is still expected to meet Chinese President Xi Jinping in South Korea later this month. And in local headlines now, more information this morning about the case of a Georgia man allegedly posing as a teenager and luring a teen girl away from her home in Mobile County. 44-year-old Scott Davis is facing several charges, including 2 counts of aggravated child molestation. Officials believe Davis and the teen had been talking on social media for quite some time and even visited the teen's home last month. The Mobile County Sheriff's Office is urging parents to know what your kids are doing online.
Don't be afraid to get uncomfortable with your kids. Look into their social media, look into who they're talking to, ask some uncomfortable questions, and figure out who they're talking to or what's going on in their online life.
Officials say the girl has been reunited with her mother. Davis remains in jail in Georgia as investigators work to bring him back to Alabama. Well, Mobile City Council members want Fat Tuesday Bar on St. Stephen's Road shut down. Officials say police has been called to that bar 270 times since 2022, with one of those calls for the shooting that occurred in December of 22. A shift commander for the area says his officers have been to the bar 100 times in just the last year alone. The owner of the bar says it's people outside the building who are causing problems, not his after midnight patrons. However, Rob Lasky, executive director of public safety, recalls speaking with a woman who lives near the bar.
She had tears rolling down her face because she lives in that area. She has to deal with this every Friday, Saturday and Sunday night. It was disturbing her. She didn't have a nice enjoyment of our property, and it was really disturbing, creating havoc within the neighborhood.
I got the best chicken wings on the planet. Anytime they leave the other clubs at night, they're gonna come down and get some chicken wings before they go home.
This issue is expected to come up for vote next week. And new on midday, a former prison security guard is speaking on the new documentary about Alabama's prisons. Stacey George is a former prison guard and is featured in this documentary. It was primarily shot with illegal cell phones from prisoners. The film is called The Alabama Solution, and it shows the reality of overcrowding, rampant violence, and influx of drugs. George is also speaking to Arkansas lawmakers, hoping this can spark prison reform all across the country.
And so now this film is bigger than anything, and people are seeing it all over the United States, and it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable that it'll bring tears to your eyes. And what we're trying to do, I think, the goal would be to humanize people that are in prison.
And you can watch the full documentary on HBO Max. It's 11:10 now. Be sure to stay with us this morning. Much more is heading your way on Fox 10 Midday. We have the latest on how the government shutdown is affecting Alabama. But first, Nick, a cool morning is giving way to a toasty afternoon.
Very toasty and dry afternoon. Dry air still in place across the Fox 10 viewing area. We have to wait for our rain chances until this weekend. Drought monitor showing you how dry it is. Look at some parts of the western part of the state of Alabama, some extreme drought there. But we do have a rain chance this weekend. I'll have details on that coming up.
Welcome back. Happening today, Orange Beach City Schools is hosting a ribbon cutting for its brand new athletic complex. And that's where we find Fox 10 Stephen Moody live this morning. Stephen, this really is a big day.
It is a big day, and it's a day that people in this area have been anticipating for years now. I believe you were actually here for the initial groundbreaking, so just to give you an idea of just how long it's been, Mayor Tony Kennon says that this has been in the making for almost a decade, but they broke ground here just a couple of years ago on this $46.1 million facility. Now, they just cut the ribbon on that facility, and just to give you an idea of what they have here, I'm standing here outside near the football field, but inside of the complex is where they have a new state-of-the-art gym with a 94-foot court floor, similar to what you see in college basketball. They also have a state-of-the-art weight room, even an area for the wrestling team as well, and a practice field for this team. Now, I had a chance to speak to the SGA president, and he said that he's so glad that they're able to open this at least 1 week before their season ends, but he says that he knows that for future Makos that they're going to be able to carry on the legacy of this facility and of this school here. Now, this was something that was put together here, like I mentioned before, by the school district and by the city. They put together this effort that cost over $46 million. And like I mentioned before, it also has a sports pavilion and all of the improvements to benefit the students here. Now, there will also be an open house happening here on Friday from 3 to 6 that the public will be invited to, but they wanted to be able to do this today just to show everyone just how amazing this facility is. Now, not only did I speak to the SGA president, also had a chance to speak to the president here, the principal here at Orange Beach High School. So we'll have all that and more coming up at Fox 10 News at 4 and 5. But for now, I'm going to send it back to you guys, reporting live here at the new athletic complex in Orange Beach. Stephen Moody, Fox 10 News. A nice day to be outside. Let's head down to the beach. This is Pensacola Beach. Look at how crystal blue clear the water is. It'll be a nice time to get outside. We love these kinds of pictures. A low risk of rip currents out there today, but that will be increasing as we head towards the weekend. Right now, dry air in place across the region with a ridge of high pressure. That's that big spin you see here. This ridge is leading to some very warm temperatures in the afternoon, but the pattern is changing. So we keep the ridge around through Friday, and then in the weekend we get a trough that rolls in over the central part of the United States. As this does, it brings the chance of showers and thunderstorms with a cold front through the region, and that will bring some changes to our temperatures. Our temperatures today: very hot. Tomorrow, very hot. Even Friday, warm. This is what it looks like. 88 degrees, record of 89. So we are really close to that. Check in this evening to see if we actually broke the record. 88 degrees in Atmore, 89 in Bruton, 90 in Evergreen for your afternoon temperatures. Going with 89 in Monroeville, 89 Chatham, 90 in Leakesville. Down at the beach, 84 degrees in Gulf Shores. The drought monitor showing us that we are in dry conditions as well. Some severe drought in portions of our area. That gets updated on Thursday. We'll be interested to see what it looks like. But we do have a rain chance on the way. We could get around 1/4 to 1/2 inch of rain associated with the front rolling through. It's a 60% chance of rain. Everything or most of it seems to come on Sunday. So this is what your futurecast looks like. This is the GFS forecast model. Notice the southeasterly wind picking up on Friday. Saturday, more moisture, especially late in the day, a chance for showers and thunderstorms. Then on Sunday, a decent shot at seeing rain clearing out by the end of the day. So that is the evolution of the storm system. And in fact, before it gets to us on Saturday, there is a risk for strong to severe storms off to our north and west, mainly over Arkansas. But our chance for rain and storms comes on Sunday. Right now, we do not have a formal severe weather risk for our area, but a reminder that we are getting closer into severe weather season. So something to keep an eye on right now. Don't have any major issues with it, though. Cold front brings a decent chance at showers and thunderstorms for our Sunday. If you have weekend plans, then keep an eye on it. Here's your 7-day outlook. After the front passes, we have some drier air that moves in, and temperatures do pull back very slightly into the low 80s for highs. We can go back to the low 60s for morning lows. So more comfortable temperatures in that long range forecast, and possibly some beneficial rain here for the weekend.
Nick, thank you for the update there. Today marks day 15 of the government shutdown, and there's no indication any progress has been made in ending the stalemate between Republicans and Democrats. Now, House Speaker Mike Johnson has been refusing to negotiate regarding Democrats' demands of extending Obamacare tax credits. Last week, the Trump administration began mass firings of federal employees, an attempt by the administration to put more pressure on the Dems. There's also been some back and forth surrounding American troops receiving their paychecks during the shutdown. The president saying service members will be paid using previously appropriated funds. Some Democrats say the move, though, may be illegal.
Of course, I want our military paid. Of course, I want federal law enforcement officers to be paid. There's a way to do that. I'm an appropriator. We should have passed appropriations bills. There's a way to run a government, and this is not the way to run a government.
Everyone needs to understand that 1.3 million active duty service members would be missing a paycheck. They'll get their check, thankfully, because President Trump has shown strong leadership. And under his direction, the Department of War has now redirected unspent funds to ensure that our troops are taken care of. And this is while Democrats are playing political games.
Senate Democrats voted Tuesday night for the 8th time to reject the Republican-led funding bill. And new at 11, it's been more than 2 weeks since the shutdown, and Alabama realtors say this is impacting the home buying process. Experts say it's preventing home buyers from using or accessing federal loans, like veteran and rural housing loans from the USDA. In the meantime, real estate experts say they are seeing a lot of delays in closing properties, and the shutdown is costing both buyers and sellers money.
You have sellers that have to hold on to their property longer. They have to make another payment. Buyers that are in temporary housing, they're having to make another payment. You have all these other costs that are involved, and it doesn't seem like much, but when you have the number of people that are impacted, it's a tremendous amount.
Real estate experts argue if this shutdown continues, it could impact the housing industry as a whole. Still ahead, it's that time of year again. Officials say respiratory virus season is here, and the CDC is revealing what they expect for the season. Those details next on Fox 10 Midday. Welcome back in. Today is a somber day. It's Pregnancy and Infant Loss Remembrance Day, a time dedicated to the memory of those lost. For parents, losing a child can have a profound toll on mental health. In today's Health Minute, Mandy Gaither has one woman's story and the message she hopes everyone who's experienced loss will hear.
Just 2 weeks after delivering her stillborn daughter Shemaya, Lakeisha Headley was back at work, but on the inside, she was miserable.
I felt like I couldn't talk to anyone about what I was going through because it was so taboo.
12 years later, she was pregnant again, but went into labor at 15 weeks. Her son Jackson passed away shortly after birth. Again, she went right back to work.
This time, it just sent me into an absolute spiral.
Every year in the U.S., about 21,000 babies are stillborn. About the same number of babies die during the first year of life. For parents, the loss can lead to symptoms of depression, including feelings of anger, irritability, or rage, sleep and appetite disturbances, crying and sadness, feelings of guilt, shame, or hopelessness, loss of interest in things they used to enjoy, and possibly thoughts of harming themselves.
I had anxiety. I couldn't sleep. I was crying tears that felt like hot fire on my face every night. And there just wasn't any hope.
Seeing a therapist and getting on medication helped Headley once again find hope. She now works with Postpartum Support International, a nonprofit that helps those who have experienced similar loss or other postpartum depression.
Every day I think about my daughter Shemaya. Every day I think about my son Jackson. And I just want to make sure that you know that I'll say your baby's name as well.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Well, we are officially mid-October, and it's that time of year again. We aren't talking about fall, though. We're talking about respiratory virus season, when the threat of viruses like COVID-19, the flu, or RSV looms all across the country. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention expects a similar number of peak hospitalizations this season as last year. But to hopefully avoid serious illness, vaccine recommendations again play a key role. To prevent against COVID-19, federal health officials have moved away from broad messaging for most people to get that vaccine. Instead, the CDC says consultation with a healthcare provider should happen before people 6 months and older, including pregnant women, get the shot. As for the flu, the vaccine is recommended for anyone 6 months and older as well. RSV vaccines are suggested every 2 years for adults 75 and up, as well as those ages 50 to 74 at increased risk of severe illness. And to protect infants from severe RSV, immunizations can be given to mothers during pregnancy or to babies after birth as an antibody shot. Aside from vaccines, other preventative measures we've all heard still stand against respiratory illness. That includes, of course, frequent hand washing or hand sanitizing. Well, the price of gas prices is coming down. An all-time record for oil pumped in the U.S. was set in July, and that is starting to have an impact on gas prices. We're officially down to around $3.07 for the average gallon of gas nationwide. 33 states now have an average gas price below $3. And an oil analyst says one of the reasons for this drop is that some people aren't even putting gas in their car.
Increasing sales of electric and hybrid cars that are replacing gasoline-powered cars on the road is negatively impacting on gasoline demand. And of course, that helps temper increases in gasoline prices into the future.
According to AAA, the average price of gas in Mobile County is $2.71. Over in Baldwin County, it's $2.75. The average price for the entire state is $2.73 overall. 11:28 now. Much more news is coming up in our next half hour of the show. Hispanic Heritage Month is this month, so we're highlighting a special small business. But before we go, let's check in with Nick for a check on the weather.
And hot temperatures in the afternoon here in the middle of October. We're talking about temperatures near 90 degrees today, 88 degrees, Mobile 84 in Gulf Shores. We could see some lower afternoon temperatures.
Committed to you. This is Fox 10 Midday.
Welcome back, and thanks for staying with us at the half hour today. If you filed an extension for your taxes, today is the deadline. The IRS says the government shutdown will not affect the tax filing and payment responsibilities of taxpayers, and you have until midnight tonight to file. You can head to the IRS website to file your taxes. In the meantime, the city of Atmore is hosting a training session for a roofing grant application. Officials with the Alabama Department of Insurance will conduct this session for the upcoming Strengthen Alabama Homes roofing grant application. The $10,000 grant will be available to Escambia County residents starting November 4th, just a few weeks away. And this session will let residents know what documents are required along with other important information needed to complete the application process. The session takes place next Tuesday at the City Hall Auditorium from 11:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. Well, ground has officially been broken on the Pensacola International Airport terminal expansion. Pensacola International Airport is usually one of the busier airports in our area, so this expansion project was needed to accommodate the passengers that travel through here every single day. One of the reasons this airport is so busy is the fact that it has direct flights to 25 cities across the country. And because of that, Pensacola International has shattered several of its daily records throughout this past year, including May 19th of this year, when officials say they had 15,000 passengers come through the airport. Because of that, they say they've outgrown their current facilities and are expanding the terminal to add an additional 5 gates, an expanded security checkpoint area, and a pathway that will connect the existing concourse to the new one. Once it's complete, Mayor D.C. Reeves says it will open up several new possibilities for our area.
We're adding a new 5-gate concourse, giving our airport the capacity to attract more airlines, offer more direct routes, and welcome larger aircraft. This is how we continue to grow our economy. An efficient, world-class airport is a powerful economic engine. It fuels our tourism industry, it helps us recruit new companies, and most importantly, it creates and sustains good jobs right here in Pensacola.
Fox 10's Dacian Smith was at the groundbreaking, and he'll have much more coming up in a full report on Fox 10 News at 5. Well, also getting some restoration work is the Bellingrath Gardens and Home in Mobile County. During a press conference that I was at yesterday, officials unveiled the Master Centennial Plan that will shape how the gardens grow over the next 100 years. Improvements include restoration of the historic core, which is the heart of the gardens, the area that's closest to the home. Guests can also expect to see a new children's and family adventure area. Officials say there are also plans to bring back the Camellia Arboretum that was damaged by Hurricane Frederick in 1979.
Bellingrath Gardens is a Gulf Coast treasure. There's no other way to think about it, right? We have to always be looking to our past as our touchstone from where we came from, but we have to be looking to the future also so that we know we're still relevant.
And the renderings of what the garden will look like are posted on our website. Again, that's fox10tv.com. It's Hispanic Heritage Month, and today we're highlighting a Mobile store owner who is sharing more than just frozen treats. He's serving up a taste of his heritage. Our Vanessa Pacheco takes us inside his popsicle shop.
This one inspired, I got it from my mom.
Queso fresco.
Queso fresco cajeta. So it's a vanilla-based popsicle, and it has cajeta center. You can see
From
the
handmade popsicles to street corn, Mexican culture comes alive at Jefe Paletas.
Jefe Paletas means boss popsicles. That's what it means, boss popsicles. I've had a lot of people call me Jeff because they think that says Jeff, but it's Jefe.
Located on Cottage Hill Road, Jefe Paletas offers locals a taste of Fabian Leon's childhood and the street-style snacks he enjoyed in Mexico.
You got your esquite, corn esquite, you have your fresas con crema, strawberries and cream, our Snow White, our mangonadas, our crepes. We also do, during the colder seasons, we do our atole de elote, which is a corn atole. We do the Mexican hot chocolate. We do the hot horchata, which is like an horchata steamer. Mango tajin is like...
Oh, that one sounds amazing. So do you make those here?
Yes, I do make these here.
Leon says he noticed these Mexican snacks weren't available in Mobile, so he decided to open Jefe Paletas in 2021.
If you go to Atlanta, Houston, and those areas, you'll see them. But here, Mobile didn't have it, so I was like, I saw a void, and I was like, let's fill it. Let's fill it with the Mexican popsicles, ice cream, desserts, and everything.
Today, Leon has expanded his business to include a popsicle cart and a snack trailer, bringing sweet and savory treats to parks, festivals, and other community events.
Mobile has embraced us and it's been a huge growth, and we continue to want to grow, and hopefully one day we'll go across the bay, open a place there. That's the plan. We want to do that. Just when God tells us to, we'll definitely take that step.
In addition to sharing these authentic Mexican snacks with the community, Leon says it's also about building a future. He hopes his two sons see the hard work he's putting in and one day continue the legacy his family began in the hospitality industry.
It's definitely important for me, for them to realize I have to work hard. I can't be lazy. I have to put some effort into it. And I feel like the Mexican culture has always taught us that. Work hard. Be hard workers at all time, 110%. And that's something I learned from my father. My father, till this day, he's working and he's still doing his thing at La Cocina. And I learned that. You know, I learned that from him, and he's never given up. And I've seen that in him, and I don't think I'll give up. And I want to instill that in my children as well. Give up and love God first and foremost, for sure.
For Leon, sharing his culture through food and seeing that first bite smile is what it's all about.
What I really want is for this place to always be a blessing to Mobile, Alabama. Never for us to like take from Mobile. We want to give. We want to give and be a blessing to this land and see the brand grow. You know, and if the brand grows, I feel like it'll be a blessing to wherever it's at.
11:38 is your time now. This is a live look at Fairhope, the Fairhope Pier, where the light winds out there, blue sky, kind of a nice day, especially a very nice morning. But the afternoon is going to get warmer, and that is the big deal for us along the Gulf Coast today. Low risk rip currents down at the beach. A lot of folks out there enjoying it. This is a great day to get out to beach. This is Orange Beach right now. 81 degrees, a easterly wind at 10 miles per hour, but not churning up the surf too much, so a lot of folks able to enjoy it. Do want to note that we will have a high risk of rip currents later on this week. If you're down at the beach or anywhere, you want to send in a weather photo, please send them in on the Fox 10 Weather app. We always encourage you to send in your photos. Head to the homepage of the Fox 10 Weather app, scroll down and submit those pictures and videos. Very, very helpful for us on active weather days and on calm weather days like this one. Speaking of calm, it is not that bad offshore right now. Northeast wind at 13 miles per hour, waves around 1 foot, gusting to 18. 76 degrees the air temperature, 79 degrees is the water temperature. So temperatures again right around 80 degrees for the water temps. Not a bad day down at the beach. 85 degrees at Pensacola Beach this afternoon, dropping into the 70s under a clear sky overnight tonight. Is going to be a lovely night to be outside, or maybe an evening to walk along the beach. Fort Walton Beach, 85 degrees, dropping through the 70s overnight tonight. There is that rip current risk that I was talking about. Notice on Friday we have a medium risk of rip currents. That increases to a high risk Friday night, and then Saturday it is off to the races with rough surf and windier conditions ahead of a front that passes on Sunday. Sunday not looking like a great day either. So get the beach stuff done now while you still can. I think some of our nice beach days are starting to become a little bit more limited as we get later and later in the season. Here's our forecast highs for today. 88 degrees. That would be really, really close to the record for Mobile. 85 degrees in Pensacola, 84 Gulf Shores, 88 in Monroeville, and 88 in Grove Hill as well. You can see this block of very, very warm temperatures here. Then they start to pull back. Friday, we have a little more cloud cover. Saturday, we have a little more cloud cover, so that's what pulls those numbers down. Then it's low 80s after the front passes. So a front passes with a rain chance on Sunday. 82 degrees water temperature drops to them. Then after that, drier conditions and temperatures in the low 80s. But in the long range forecast, this is the Climate Prediction Center outlook, October 21st through the 25th. You see this area of orange. This is looking beyond after that cold front. Looks like we could see a return to above average temperatures. So once again, we are not getting a real good push of very cool fall air, which looks like it's just going to be kind of meh. And we're going to stay a little warm, probably temperatures staying in the low 80s for quite a while here in the long range outlook. Here's what your temperatures look like in the near term. 88, 89, 86 for Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Your rain chance comes in some on Saturday, mostly late in the day. Saturday night, your rain chance really does bump up. And then Sunday as well is where you have a decent shot at seeing showers and thunderstorms. Then temperatures fall back into the low 80s for next week.
All right, Nick, thank you. Looks like we have some great weather for football this weekend. Speaking of which, the latest on all your favorite teams is coming up on Fox 10 Midday right after this. Welcome back. High school football continues as Week 9 gets underway tomorrow. Here's what's on tap for Thursday Night Lights. We head to Pensacola, where the St. Michael Cardinals will take on Pensacola High School Tigers. St. Michael looks to add another win to their undefeated season at 7-0, while the Tigers hope to bring the Cardinals' winning streak to a halt. Game time is set for 7 o'clock sharp tomorrow night. Then it's homecoming in the land as the undefeated Saraland Spartans take on the Murphy Panthers. The Spartans sit at 7-0, while the Panthers are 0-8 on their season. The action gets underway tomorrow night at 7 at Spartan Stadium. And rounding out Thursday night action, the Foley Lions hit the road to Mobile to take on the Davidson Warriors. The Lions come into this one at 2-5, while the Warriors are 3-4. Game time is also set for 7. And Friday, our Big Friday kickoff continues as Daphne takes on Fairhope in an Eastern Shore matchup. Our game of the week features Viger and Williamson, and this is one that fans have really been waiting for. We'll also have the highlights from Baker versus Mary G. Montgomery and Gulf Shores versus Theodore. It all starts Friday afternoon right here on Fox 10. You don't want to miss it. And then the George County School District releasing a statement on safety at their football games. It reads in part, the George County School District takes the safety and security of our students, staff, and visitors very seriously. We want to reassure our families and community that significant safety precautions are in place, included but not limited to armed and uniformed on-duty law officers and plainclothes law enforcement monitoring activity among the crowd and other additional security measures. We have that full statement on our website, fox10tv.com. Well, the South Alabama Jaguars hosted Arkansas State in an early week matchup last night. The Jags were looking for their first conference win of the season. They got off to a good start with a 9-yard run by Kentrell Bullock. South Alabama would add another touchdown run by P.J. Martin in the second half as the Jags would lead for the entire game. But a late missed field goal by South opened the door for the Red Wolves to march down the field one last time. In the end, Arkansas State kicks a game-winning field goal as time expired to win 15-14 over the Jags. Up next, South will be on the road next Thursday when they take on Georgia State. Nick, a little bit of a disappointing matchup there.
I watched that whole game.
How are you doing today?
Anyways,
Not great. He doesn't
let's talk about the forecast now. That was
Still
a tough
recovering.
one.
Still recovering.
That was a tough one to watch. A long game. A lot of penalties in it, too.
Very unfortunate.
All right, let's go ahead and talk about the forecast here. Radar section's quiet. I do want to mention that they have the tropical outlook available on the app as well. No development expected here. Your hourly forecasted. Submit your pictures and videos on the Fox 10 weather app as well. We encourage you to do so. We're going to have quiet weather in the near term, but active weather does come into the picture Friday, Saturday, and the weekend here, associated with a decent rain chance here. Here's the rain chances of the next 7 days. 20% on Saturday, maybe 20 to 30%. Spotty showers possible. Then on Sunday, a decent shot at showers and thunderstorms as a front rolls in. There's a southeasterly flow picking up on Saturday, moisture pushing on in. That's what the dew points get higher. Then as we go through Sunday, there's your rain chance, and it will be a chance for showers and thunderstorms. So looking at the 7-day outlook, prepare for the rain and some thunderstorms. I don't think we have a severe weather risk with this, not seeing too much, but we will have some thunderstorms there. We'll keep you updated on that, of course. Looking into the following days, the 10-day outlook looks kind of warm still, if I'm being completely honest with you. 82, 82, 83, 84 degrees. In fact, I was looking at, and I kind of showed it earlier, the long-range temperature outlook where it shows temperatures during next week still being slightly above average. So be ready for some warmer temperatures still even after the front passes, but a weekend rain chance is there. We have a little more here on Fox 10 Midday coming up.
Listen to this. One of Earth's most elusive animals captured in an Erie award-winning photograph. It's just one of the impressive images from the Wildlife Photographer of the Year Awards. And Patrick Cornell shows us the best of the best in today's Take a Look at This.
Get a gander at this haunting image of a brown hyena standing in front of an abandoned building in a former diamond mining town in Namibia. The prize-winning pick beat out more than 60,000 entries to claim the 2025 Wildlife Photographer of the Year award. The annual contest celebrates the world's best nature photography and wildlife photojournalism. Brown hyenas are so rare, organizers say it took the South African photographer a full decade to capture one on camera. The eerie photo shows how wildlife is reclaiming a ghost town after being abandoned by people. This photo, titled After the Destruction, took home the title for Young Wildlife Photographer of the Year, open to photographers age 17 and under. It shows a longhorn beetle in central Italy posing in front of abandoned logging machinery. Award organizers also highlighted this picture of an orphaned giant anteater trailing its caregiver at a rehab center for the Impact Award, which recognizes conservation success stories. All winning photographs will be on exhibit at the Natural History Museum in London. Here's a wild video of a domesticated animal in a bit of a pickle. The Chapel Hill Fire Department says the dog Colton got a hold of a lithium-ion battery and gnawed on the thing until it burst into flames.
He bit into it, and you can see it, he's surprised by it, and then he's like, uh-oh, what did I do?
They posted the video online to highlight the dangers of leaving those batteries unsecured.
When you're done charging them, you have to really pay attention and unplug them. You have to make sure you store them, where they can't get broken or cracked or chewed on by a dog.
Other than a bit of a scare, Colton is perfectly okay. The house only suffered some smoke damage and a burned rug. For Take a Look at This, I'm Patrick Cornell.
And it's time for 3 to Know Before You Go. The Louisiana Department of Transportation and the city parish of Baton Rouge has found a new approach to cleaning parts of its Interstate 10 corridor. A drone company has been hired to use drones to wash dirt, algae, and mold from the sound walls. However, some work will require overnight lane closures, and the work is expected to take place over the next 10 to 12 days and nights. And then listen to this, rapper T-Pain is teaming up with Crocs. The celebrity and apparel company is pairing to bring life to boots with the fur from Florida's classic song Low, of course, which features the artist. And the result is what Crocs is calling the classic unforgettable leopard knee-high boot. Might wear these, may or may not. The company says the boot is more than 35 inches tall, and it's wrapped in plush, vegan, by the way, leopard print fur. This new boot will be available October 23rd on Crocs.com with a retail price of $159. Probably won't be buying those. And then listen to this. A group of citizen scientists has helped discover a rare double ring structure in outer space. This is a type called odd radio circles, also known as orcs. And they are so massive that entire galaxies sit at their centers. Orcs span hundreds of thousands of light years and often reach 10 to 20 times the size of our Milky Way galaxy. It is the first one discovered by citizen scientists. Pretty cool stuff, Nick.
Want to get yourself some boots with the fur?
Listen, I'm pretty stylish, okay? I don't know if I'm that stylish, though.
Okay.
I think I could rock them. Nick
All right.
isn't so sure.
We gotta go through the forecast real quick. I just want to mention this is what it looks like down at the beach. This is what it looks like down in Mobile. Lovely conditions today. It is going to be hot this afternoon with temperatures soaring into the upper 80s for many locations. Could get close to record territory. Here are those forecast highs again. 88, 89, some places close to 90 degrees, 85 in Pensacola. Here's that 7-day outlook. What you're going to notice, the rain chance this weekend, could even see a couple thunderstorms on Sunday. We'll be keeping you updated, of course, on that. After that, cooler, but not super cool. Temperatures in the low 80s for Monday and Tuesday of next week. Beneficial rain chance, though, on Sunday, something we really do need.
Absolutely, and we're making fall happen for us in the studio today. You had your pumpkin spice latte during commercial breaks.
I did have a pumpkin spice latte.
Was it good?
Yes, it is very good. It is almost gone.
Good. Well, enjoy the weather that we have. Thank you so much for watching Fox 10 Midday. We'll see you on Fox 10 Live at 3. Have a wonderful Wednesday.